Hi, my name is Naftali. I'm a former police officer from the city of El Paso, Texas. I served in that role for 27 years, and certainly I have a lot of stories I could share with you. But the number one thing I took away from that long career serving the public is that we're all the same. And by that I mean we all have good days and bad days. We all have challenges in our lives. We make good choices and we make poor ones. And nothing has become more clear to me than the severe lack of good mentorship. And by that I mean the number of positive adult role models that young people have, whether they're teenagers or even young adults, has seemingly gotten so much smaller. In the old days, we used to count on mom and dad to be the go-to folks in the home that young people would turn to help them cope with difficulties at school, with friends, or just in life in general. However, typically you only have one parent at home, and this is not a blast on single parent homes, that's just a reality of our times. But usually mom and dad or whoever's there at the house is so busy trying to provide for the family that they're not always there. And on top of it, young people get so much of their messaging, both good and bad, from the internet. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not blasting on the internet either, but there's a lot of bad information there and there's a lot of hate. Young people can sometimes not know where to turn, and my goal as a former police officer is to help organizations like school districts, parent groups, houses of worship, any organization that deals with young people on a daily basis, reaffirm their roles and understand their importance as a mentor. I think this became crystal clear to me, unfortunately, on my last day as a cop. It was August 3rd of this year, 2019, that after 27 years as a police officer, I was going to use a vacation day on my very last day as a cop. And on that very same day, tragically, I had a mass shooting in my hometown. I'm from El Paso, Texas, and on that day of August 3rd, a young man walked into a Walmart full of hate, coming from a dark place, didn't even live in El Paso, and for no other reason than his particular hatred or prejudice, in this case against Hispanics, ended up shooting and killing a large number of people. The very next day, there was another shooting in Ohio, and again, a young person, and I'm not saying young people are to blame, but the commonality of where they came from really struck home for me. On that day, which was supposed to be a happy day for me, being my last day as a cop, I was really torn as to whether or not I should retire. As a cop, you want to be the one to get there to stop somebody from doing something like that, to be the one that could have made a difference. However, I also thought about this project of working with other adults who find themselves in the role as a mentor to reaffirm my own role and theirs of how important that really is. There's no telling where these two young men came from, what was in their experiences, who did they have to go to get maybe a different side of the story instead of just the internet. We'll never know, but my belief is that for those of us that come into that daily contact with young people, that we need to really understand that those 10 minutes that we give someone in our day can sometimes make all the difference in the world. I get frustrated too. Over those 27 years, there were many times I was very frustrated, and I've met a lot of educators and parents that are full of frustration, not thinking they're making a difference or can. But I also look back and remember the handful of people that have come up to me that I had arrested over the years and say, "Officer Cano, I just wanted to thank you for treating me right." And a lot of times I wouldn't remember who they were, but they'd go back 10, 15, 20 years on some arrests I made and held them accountable. And they would walk up to me and thank me because I treated them with a little bit of dignity and told them they could change their lives, that they could make a difference, and that this wasn't the end of the world for them. And I have to be honest with you, it did make me feel good. I know I'm supposed to be a tough cop and we don't care about that stuff, but a lot of officers do. Men and women out there serving every day as teachers also know what I mean, or as parishioners, or any organization that deals with young people. Heck, even the janitor that works down the hallway. Those daily contacts with young people are so very important. So on a very tragic day on August 3rd, when that mass shooting occurred and then the one the very next day, it really reaffirmed my own role and my own goal and passion to help other adults. I'll never tell anyone how to do their job, but I think it's so important for all of us to hear, myself included, that what we do in dealing with young people is so very important. So I look forward to getting to meet with your organization or your group and see what I can do to help reaffirm your important role as a mentor. So get a hold of me today, see what we can do, and maybe together we can prevent things like what occurred on August 3rd, the very next day in Ohio, August 4th, and unfortunately continue to happen in this country. I look forward to hearing from you.